Hello, everybody, and welcome to Keeping It Spiritually Simple. So, this is another segment on how ordinary people can experience extraordinary things. And then, how do they live this extraordinary life without falling off the cliff? So, welcome, everybody. Today, my guest is Sandra. So, we've got two Sandras in the house. Wow. So hello and welcome.
Hi, I feel very honored.
Well, I'm honored. You know, it's funny. It's a funny story. I came across your videos maybe, I want to say maybe almost 2 years ago. Somewhere, really? Maybe not quite that long, but somewhere I came across them. And I was so attracted to this, like the energy. And I was just in all of your beauty. It was like you were so beautiful, and you gave messages, and then you would do light language. And at that time, you know, I wasn't as experienced with light language. I do some now myself. And the only way I can explain it is you're trying to funnel a waterfall through a straw and expect the same results out the other end, because there's no way to really explain that heartfelt language into the languages we know now to communicate. So tell our audience a little bit about you, beautiful.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Yeah, I'm Sandra, Akura. I'm from Germany. And I love it to sing in light language, and I love it to channel extraterrestrials and the higher realms. Yeah, I love it so much. And that's a very, very long story. I felt it since I was born that my soul is from somewhere else. And I searched all the time up for my home. So I felt it since I'm a child. When I was aware of my first thoughts, I felt it that I'm not from here. And I spent so much time in figuring out who am I all the time. I went through many different stages. And when I turned into 24 years, so then I was guided for the first time to Starseeds, the first time. And I felt home for the first time. I can share you stories about all these stages. I read books about psychology, high sensitive persons. I went to the psychologist because I searched all the time up from my home, all the time, what's going on with me. And no one was able to give me the answer. Even when I read books about high sensitive persons, it explained more, but I never got the answer why I have these experiences, this out of body experiences, or why do I see entities or extraterrestrials? So, and then when I turned into circa 24 years, I was guided to Starseeds for the first time. It explained my whole life, really everything.
Wow.
And I searched up all the time, up from my home all the time. And no one in the outside could give me an answer. So,
well, you know, you're not alone. I raised a daughter like that who could see the other side before she could speak English. And there was just me. There was really no support group. This is before indigos and all that stuff began to approach, you know, the vocabulary of our earth plane. And it's also one of the reasons I'm drawn to working with children again. I didn't think I was going to when I started this journey again after the shutdown, but the children are kind of coming to me, and then it requires me working with the parents and their energies so that they can be supportive. So good for you that you didn't allow it to be shut down, that you were inquisitive and this need to know and this search for this. And then I know it's led you to connecting and channeling. Did that all come in at once, or was it maybe, you know, one set of guides at a time? I mean, and actually really they're not our guides, they're different than our guides, is how my guides have been explaining it to me lately. They come in and they join our guide team and join our higher self, but to like to help us at that time, but then other ones come in at other times. This is what they've been really driving home with me lately, because I want to call everybody my guide, you know. They're like, no, we're not. We're just here for the moment. So could you share a little bit about what that was like when you got your first like channel that you knew that you weren't insane?
Yeah, a friend, an old friend, shared a video on his Facebook page. I talked about it on my previous channel. I had a channel before this one. It's a very complicated story what happened to us. I'm sharing this on my new channel, what happened to my twin flame and me. And he shared a video about Starseeds on his page, and he added my name. And he told me I have to watch this video. And I never heard about Starseed. It was an English video. So, English, what is that? Starseeds? And then intuitively I clicked on it, and it was a video about Syrians. It was one of the first videos I have seen. It was a very beautiful animation, and with many different quotes in the music, and then the dolphins, and I started to cry because it explained my whole life. Yeah, really everything. And I searched all the time up for the answers. I grew up in a very Catholic family also, so it was almost impossible for me to talk about my visions because it's satanic, it's occultism, yeah, that's evil also. So, and I felt so ashamed, yeah, also that I feel it, that I see it, and I never fit in also, yeah. And yeah, it was for me like, whoa, now I got the answer. So all the time I searched up for this. And when I have seen this video, I felt this deep peace for the first time. Yeah. And that was very interesting. It was a big gift. It changed everything.
Yeah, I can sense that from you right now. I'm getting a whole lot of host of feelings about what you just explained. I'm just going to go on. They're telling me just skip over this. Come on, this is about her, not you. I'm always like, it's about me, isn't it? It's supposed to be about me. So when you first began to like hear a channeling come through, or how do you hear it? Do you hear it? I mean, because we all have different ways of communicating. It's not, and we can use the term, I heard a voice, but it really could be a thought that came into your own mind. So how are you hearing some of the things that these galactic wonderfuls were sharing?
On many different levels. I see them sometimes, I feel them, I hear them. Sometimes they're sending me signs, then I'm guided on the physical level to these answers, or I feel it in my heart. Maybe, yeah, I hear them, or sometimes I have lucid dreams, then I see them. Sometimes I have future visions also, astral travels. Then sometimes I tune into the future, and then I woke up, what is that? And then a few months later, it happened. So what I have seen before. So I sense them on many different levels, but I had this when I was a child. I heard them, I saw them. Sometimes I drew them, or I painted them also, on many different levels. Yeah.
So it's always been a part of you. So it wasn't like one particular,
No.
whoa, and then you put it out there to the universe.
Yeah, I can remember it was a very interesting or impressive experience. I can remember maybe I was 3 years old. Then I had my first out-of-body experience. And I had my first thoughts, and I was aware of them. And I can remember that I drank the apple juice. And during the apple juice, I drink it, and then my soul left my body for a short time. And then I have seen myself sitting on the chair, and I drank the apple juice.
Wow.
When I was 3 years old, I was alone there. For a few seconds, I have seen myself, and then my soul, boom, returned back into my body. And then I watched my hands like this. So what is that? Is that real? This body, what is that? And then my first thought was, this is not me. I'm not my body. Yeah, I was 3 years old, so I don't know it different. So I felt them all the time, and this energy, and I knew since this experience, I was aware of that I'm not my body. So what is that? It's only an illusion. So I don't get this. Yeah, and that was a very, very impressive moment for me, because I can remember that since till day. Now I'm 31 years old, so I still remember this, because it was like, my first out of body experience. Yeah.
Did you ever see yourself as another being before you were this physical earth being?
Yeah, I see myself sometimes as a galactic being. Yeah, I see myself, and I see many different physical bodies. Yeah, she or me, the soul, whatever, has many different physical bodies. So it's very complicated to explain that. So maybe these are other timelines or other dimensions,
Mhm.
because I see myself in many different physical bodies. So
Yes. Do you ever look in the mirror and sometimes feel like your face isn't your face?
I had that when I was a
Yeah,
teenager, very
yeah,
strong. Yeah, as a teenager.
yeah. I'm getting more of that again recently, which is why they just said ask her if she's getting that too.
Mhm.
Um, it's just like, who am I? You know, and even though I'm 5'4", sometimes I feel like I'm 20 feet tall. And I remember once going to see a healer about 20 some years ago, and she literally had you come in the room and sit down, and then she went outside of the room and went all around out there, and then came back in the doorway, like going like this and saying, oh, your energy's so big, we have to contain it. And
Mhm.
in that moment, I thought, oh, well, that might not be good. Like, so I started shrinking myself, like literally feeling like I needed to keep my energy like here, that maybe if
Mhm.
it was too big, I was going to collect information I shouldn't, or maybe slap other people with my energy and I didn't know it. So because I'm a vocal boisterous person, so I
Yeah,
find
I
sometimes
sense it. I have a very wide
I
aura.
know
Very. Yeah.
it's like I find that sometimes I have to contain it, and then really honestly in the last couple of years I'm like, F this. This is who I am. I'm a happy being. And I might be 5'4", but everything around me is like, you know, 30, 40, 100 feet tall. And I'm proud of it. Let's go. No one's going to dim this light. Not anymore. Not anymore. I am not saying I'm
Yes.
sorry ever again. I'm not explaining myself ever again. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the whole universe going through this shutdown where we had to be with the me, myself, and I, and
Mm.
authentically tap into who we are. And they put out there. The one thing, there was one video you did, and I want to say it was 2020, about the springtime or summer, maybe. You came on this video and you were laughing almost the entire time, and you were doing these different types of laughing, and I'm watching it and going, this takes more than balls. This is so freaking cool, because this is what I do by myself. I said, but she's
Yeah.
putting it on video, and like, what? I don't give a crap. Hopefully somebody will find some humor in it, because all of it is energy activations for each other,
Yeah.
and I understood that, but other people might look at it like, okay, delete.
What's going on with her?
Like,
Why
or
she's laughing?
or they could be like, I want what she has. What's she
Is she
on?
using drugs?
Well, I think the beautiful thing about really many of us is we can get their way without any of that stuff. That's what I've been told repeatedly for myself. So your beautiful voice, have you always been blessed with it, or do you work with it? Do you take vocal lessons or anything, because it is amazingly beautiful.
Oh, thank you very
No, it
much.
is. It is. Sometimes I have tears in my eyes, and other times I'm like, I can just see the energy coming from your eyes. Everything just exudes from you.
Oh, thank you. Because I'm so
Yeah.
skeptical with my voice, really.
No, never,
Thank you.
never, never. You might be skeptical if you heard mine, but do you take lessons?
No, never. I do it by my own. So even my childhood about it is also very sad. So I was never allowed to sing. Also, it was forbidden for me to sing when I was a child. So when I started to sing at first when I left my family's house, then I started to sing for the first time. And I was thinking about it, so maybe I can go to a vocal coach. And I had a test training with her. She was very great. She was in Nuremberg, it's a city in Germany, and she was an opera singer and a musical artist. And I had my first teaching session with her, and she tuned into my range. She played piano a little bit. It was cool with her. And I was thinking about it to do vocal, that I do it.
Coaching.
Yeah, coaching, yeah, but I said no. So I felt no, I want to do it on another level. But she told me also she liked my voice, and she, for me, it was like, oh my gosh, she's a educated opera singer. Oh my fucking gosh. I was so like that. So because I grew up in this dynamics where it was forbidden for me to sing, and everyone told me I can't sing, I have a horrible voice, I will never succeed. And then there's an opera singer in front of me, and she told me I have a beautiful voice, I have to continue, please don't stop singing. This is what she told me, even when I told her, okay, I moved, yeah, because Marcel and me met each other during I had my first test coaching with her. Then I moved to Marcel, and she told me, please continue singing, don't stop with it, you have an amazing voice. And for me it was like, oh my gosh, she's an opera singer, and she was on musical stages, on famous German musical stages, and she told me I have a beautiful voice. It was the first time in my life that somebody told me I have a beautiful voice. Really, it was shocking for me. And I had the session when I was, I'm not sure, 25 or 26 years old. And I started to sing when I turned into this age. Before I listened to artists, or I did it when nobody was at home, right? When nobody was at home,
Yeah.
then I sung, but never when somebody was there. So
Well, it's a beautiful instrument, and the funny thing is somehow I lost you on YouTube totally, and then I came back
yeah.
across you on Facebook, and I was like, oh my god. I'm like,
I'm
there she
really
is.
glad.
There she is. No, and I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
stalking you or anything. And I wasn't like, oh, there's another Sandra. She's so freaking cool like me, but she's got a good voice and big eyes and blah, blah, blah. I was so thrilled to come back, because viewers are going to they're going to so
Yeah.
connect with the energy that there's just so many codes and activations in there. You don't even need to know what they are. You'll just connect with it. It touches your soul, and every other instrument and note within your physical body and your energetic body. And don't ever stop.
Oh, thank you very much.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
I
stop.
was questioning it also a little bit because I'm so skeptical, or was more skeptical with that. And I was like, maybe she's giving me a compliment because, that I visit her, that she
Sure.
earns money. Right, that it was my believing system, because everyone told me I can't sing. My whole ancestors, right, they're saying you can't sing. But that's the crazy thing. My ancestors are musicians. They are all musicians. So the father lineage, yeah, they are talented. So, but it was forbidden to sing. So very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very strange.
You're out from underneath all that now. So you get the opportunity to really open up and connect with the heart, connect with the voice, connect with with the divines that are coming through. Do you find that they come through a lot in musical notes and song, meaning it doesn't need to make sense? It's sort of like, it's like you're creating your own light language, which is what we all do, but
Yeah.
you're creating your own dialect with them.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you notice a difference between each galactic family having a different dialect when they come through you?
Mm-hmm. For me, it's an instrument to translate the frequency, because many people got this question, can you translate it? Or is it a real language? Or is it the language of them? Do they talk on this level? But for me, it's an instrument to translate their frequency through the dialect or through vocabulary, that people got their energy better. And when I start to sing, I believe that we can translate the frequency better or more advanced when we sing, because everything is frequency. So then we can feel them better. And sometimes I sense also in normal songs or by artists that their energy is coming through also through these songs. And that's also very interesting, yeah, to see many different starseeds and they feel attracted to specific songs. Many Pleiadians I know, for example, they feel very attracted to Celtic sounds or to Nordic music a lot. And then I talk to them, and the most of the people, they are confirming me, and they say, yes, I like Vadruna, I like Dunheim, I like Heilung, all these bands, right? This is so Nordic Celtic. And the most of the Pleiadians, they like this kind of music. This is what I observing also. Yeah, or Syrians. I know many Syrians, they like classical music, is what I have figured out. Yeah, they like classical sounds, musicals, or even the Oriental sounds, right? So Egyptian music or Maya music. It's very fascinating. I believe that we are channeling, transmuting their informations and their frequency all the time, because these are our ancestors. So we
Sure.
are descendants by them. So we are remembering all the time. And then we are channeling intuitively, recreating a song. And actually, that's their frequency. We channeled them. So what I
Yeah.
observed also, that's very fascinating.
Do you just get stuff as you're moseying along your day, or do you sometimes set time aside to devote to what's coming through and recording it?
It's very intuitively spontaneous. So sometimes I receive a message or my heart is telling me I have to sing. It's more my impulse. Oh, and then I start to sing and I take a seat in the bathroom or I take a shower and then I start to sing. Because I receive messages or I'm going for a walk in the forest and then I start to sing sometimes. And when I have my camera with me or my cell phone, then I record it, yeah. These messages and informations, and then I start to sing. Yeah, and then I recorded it and I uploaded it.
Yeah. And a lot of times you're putting out messages that we can understand, or you're translating it into messages. And, I can't get distracted by a lot of things that are going on the surface of Earth. I can't get distracted by, the money or the politics, or they won't even let me dip into any of that. It gets shut down immediately. I stay on a whole different level of the bigger picture. So for some of those waivers that are staying above the muck, so to speak, awakened and on their path, for lack of a better word, I actually don't even like that word, awakened, are becoming more and more aware of things that we thought we knew and things that we didn't know that we're getting to learn to know. So for those that are walking that path, is there anything that you could suggest or any messages the galactics would like to
Yeah.
share with those?
Yeah, the basic message what I receive by almost every galactic species or even by the angels is that we have to train our heart center. So that should be the global process now, that we are going back from this voice here, right? The mind, back to our hearts, because there's so much confusion out there. Is this true? Is it a lie? Is he a good guy or a bad guy? You know, all the politics. And this is so confusing, because I feel all these informations, they will come up to the surface automatically, and then we will see them. It becomes manifest. But now we are in this period of transition. I would explain it more like this. Now we are invited to train our heart center, because our heart center is the gateway to 5D for me. So that means the heart is one of the highest frequencies. So, and then we transmute all this in the outer world together. So it's like you're vibrating over this chaos, and you can see it from this perspective, and you forgive yourself, you forgive even the dark ones. So, because we are all in this process, every one of us. And that's the basic message by our galactic sisters and brothers, and even by the angels also, that we are invited to feel unity now, that we open our hearts, and that we see through the eyes of a child again a little bit. Because for me, this is basic. When we want to ascend to 5D, it starts with the consciousness, that we are going back to the 5D consciousness level. This is the heart. So the mind, this is like 3D, 4D, yeah, all the time. This, is it right? Is it wrong? I start to remember, I'm not sure. Is it true? Is it false? This is all the confusion here. It's the mind, but our heart knows the answer. So,
Yeah,
and we are all
very
invited
nice.
now. Yeah, so we are all in this process. So,
Well, when we go back and we come at life from a more of a childlike perspective, a child doesn't have an overactive ego. They haven't developed all of that yet. So they have this innocence of wanting to learn and understand, but we've been raised in a mental world. I know about a year ago, I was taking a walk with some friends and about to, do my website, Embodiment of the Soul. And someone said, Sandy, what exactly is that? And I opened my mouth, and what fell out was, well, we've been trained to do the mission of the mind, and now it's the mission of the soul. It's a mission of the heart. And how do we embody that? How do we put the mental part of it and let it rest, and let this now be in the driver's seat? And that is so important. And it's such a simple message, like you're giving, and similar to what I'm giving, but it's the basis for everything.
Yes, it is.
For
So then we create a
everyone.
new world together. It
Yes.
starts with that.
Yes. It's literally the number one basis for everything, every person, everything, every molecule of everything. And once we understand that, then we open up to the magic of what can occur. I have so much fun with my site that got developed in the last 2 years, that what I felt I knew, I'm now beginning to see the beings and the orbs and the colors. And it's, nobody wants to video me in a room alone, because I'm just like,
I can imagine that.
Exactly. And I can only be honest about it. I mean, I used to shut the curtains at my house, because I thought, oh my gosh, if someone was looking in, and I'm sitting there like going, reaching up, and then watching my hand disappear and change colors, and I'm like this, and then I got to the point where I just left the curtains open. I didn't care. Let them enjoy. Maybe they'd like to learn what I'm doing, and hopefully everybody gets to experience that, right?
That's basic. Life is so magical. So when you sense all these energies, so I think it's like a child a little bit, right? So
yes,
it's so cool. Even children, right? When we meet children, it's like they react totally different, like many adults. So when children see us, me and myself, the most of the children, so they have very wide open eyes. So a few children are reacting like that. They have an open mouth. And sometimes I'm curious what they see. Yeah, or sometimes they look at me, at Marcel, like this, like that. So question bottom. So what is that?
Well, I think first of all, they see your aura. Now,
Yeah.
for me, my twin is in charge of my spiritual development on the other side, who I see all the time. And he always has beings on his shoulders, and then sometimes a being like really tall behind him. So I think these kids are just seeing so much, especially in the first 2 years when they're in what, like Delta, like for 2 years, and
Yeah.
then Theta after that. So they're in all this whole dreamy state. And I remember one time I was walking by a woman and she had a stroller and her child was staring at me, and she stopped and she goes, look at him staring at you. And I said, oh, he's looking at the colors of my aura. And, she didn't even question like, what's that? Or cover her baby up and head left, like, let me get away from this woman. But children we need to pay attention to them more, because it's the inner child within us.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's so simple. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what you're doing over there in Germany. I know it's pretty cold. I know it's nighttime now, so I won't keep you too terribly long. And we can definitely do this again, because there's more and more we can share with the universe.
Yeah, so much
Is
to talk
on these
about.
platforms.
Yeah.
So what's happening over there in Germany? How are things going?
Very chaotic because they continue with the crazy game here. Yeah. So 2G, yeah, law, and they want to exclude the unvaxxed people now. We are not allowed to visit restaurants anymore and other things. Yeah. It's pretty dark. Yeah. So,
Well, first off, I'm sorry that you're experiencing that. And I know many of us are going to experience that, even if we don't want that to be in our timeline. However, there's a deeper part of me that understands that our new birthing, we're not being rebirthed, we're new birth, right? And our community might look like it's in exile, but we're going to blossom and grow beyond the beyond.
yeah.
And we're going to get overcrowded real quick. And
Yes.
I'm not at all worried about it. So I don't even let fear. Occasionally I get trepidation, or we're human, but I'm not going there. But I'm sorry that you're already experiencing that. But it's not stopping you from doing what you got to do.
Yes. Yes. The heart is too strong. My heart is telling me it's my mission now. So I can't stop. So my heart, my soul is pushing me. So I can't stop. So when everything was destroyed and I deleted all my social platforms, when we stayed in this crazy dancer team, we have seen all these holograms around us. And when we returned, really, I was a little bit unsure about it. Should I continue or not? Because they wanted to manipulate us, our subconsciousness, consciousness, mind, everything. Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe, so that I question it also, because we died almost there. So, and then after I returned, there was a voice in me, and this voice told me, no, create a YouTube channel again, create Facebook again. Yeah, even when these people splitted my community also a lot, so they believed them more. So maybe she's a cheater, something like that, or she's manipulating people in a dark way like this. So I was a little bit shocked also to see a few comments, but the most of these people, these were them. And they sent all the time this comment, she's a scam, all the time. Even on TikTok, they did it again. They created 3 or 4 fake channels now, and they call me scam. We want our money back. We want our money back. She's a scammer. But the people don't know the story behind it. What happened exactly there, right? So, and that's a little bit stressful, a little bit, but my heart is telling me, no, I have to continue. So I do what I love. And there are so many people like you or other people I'm in contact with, and they see my passion, that I love it so much what I do. And they don't feel the split. It's like they when they see these comments, it's like, okay, so we observe it because we know what's going on, right? So, and these are the right people. So I'm also grateful for them, even when their intention is to pull us down, that we not continue with our work, or that even new followers on TikTok, they are not so many involved in the story. So that they see this comment, so she's a scam, or like that. So people who feel very attractive, when they have an open heart, they will be with you. So because this is our other consciousness level, they will not tune into their confusion. And this is all what they do. Confusion, they twist facts a little bit, right? So, and then it looks different. But their technique is, that's a very basic technique by them. They twist the real meaning. Actually, it's their problem and they twist it, said that people are confused. And that's a very, very traditional manipulation technique by them. So, and when you're vibrating in your heart center, this will not get you because you feel the frequency. And frequency is the truth. And when you feel the frequency is a lower frequency, or it's a frequency of confusion to split us. So this is the old earth, and we are tapped into the new earth, and that's the unity consciousness. So that means you can forgive everyone. You forgive also the dark ones, really everyone, and yourself, because you see the higher perspective, the higher picture. It's not about good, this is bad people, or something like that. Good, this is evil. It's like unity, that we see the entire picture. And this is for me 5D, that you see there's always so much light and shadows. Yeah, it's like two sides of the coin. So when you experience something good in your life, there's also darkness, and when you experience something very dark, so there's so much light in it. There's so much potential, like you mentioned it with the situation. We can expand our light now. We are trained to go back into our heart, because this is all what remains. So it's unity. So, and this is what they fear, that we feel unity, that we hold our light, that we stay centered in our heart.
Right.
That's it. So, and then all this confusion, all this will never work, because we see it, we observe that, and we only pick up what resonates with our heart, not more.
Yeah, and I also think, when we're moseying along and we step up, we rise, whatever the case may be, you're put on a soapbox where you're going to hear more and more criticism and this and that. But I know for me, what my guides have said to me is that when I walk in my heart, through my heart, with my heart, that I don't take all that stuff as personal anymore. But I also know that I just have to keep rising and going and rising and going. And eventually all the people that are contracted or attracted or need to will find me and work with me, just as they will you. And but we can't back down and go back to our 9-to-5s and the different things that we may have been exposed to before, because we're called to be so much more, because we are so much more. And if you can't, you got to stop, drop, sit, connect with the breath, and understand you are so much more than what you ever thought you were.
Yes.
And if you could just maybe sit with that for a little bit, then have the courage to take action with that and become everything your God self brought you here to be.
Yes, there's so much potential in all these now. So we are guided to our real purpose now, because Earth is vibrating in the fourth density now. So that's the dimension of confusion. We start to remember it's the bridge between 3D and 5D. It's like we remember, but we are not sure maybe 3D was better. Oh no, it's not working anymore. Yeah, it's like, ooh, this chaos. But actually, that's the big potential now, that we stop with it and we go back into our heart and we hold the light. So that's 5D. That's so simple, actually.
Yeah, and you know the old saying, misery loves company. And sometimes you don't know you're living a miserable existence until you step out of it, step out of an abusive situation, or you know, one that's been oppressed or suppressed or whatever it is. Until you step away from it, then you begin to see. But some people just don't want to step out of their comfort zone. And unfortunately, this energy is saying, I'd suggest you come along. You can hold on to your chair as long as you like. You can bring your chair only so far on the path, but then you're going to have to leave all that behind and open your heart much more. And you know, you're talking about forgiveness with the dark, you know, I as a child, I always knew I came in with different lives, that I wasn't always this color and my name and so on. And you know, I remember at one point, probably about 20 years ago, I sat and asked for forgiveness for all my lifetimes, that if I ever trespassed or corrupted. And then I also asked for forgiveness for, you know, any ancestors and anyone I knew that participated with me on that. I asked for forgiveness with that, because this isn't about one battling another. It's about how do you become in harmony and understand both, and then still rise and continue to step up, because we're taught the polarity. It has to be one way or the other way, one way or the other way. And quite frankly, I'm finding I'm the fulcrum, and I'm right there, and I can tippy-toe a little out this way and tippy-toe a little out that. I know exactly how far I can go, and I'm going to continue to practice those skills. Whereas you are doing the same, and you're actually in a little more of a rules area right now, so to speak, without getting in too deep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's like at the end, we are so grateful even for this experiences, because they have shown us their network. So we have seen their technology. So on the other hand, we felt very honored that they shared this all with us. So and through this darkness, so it was like we came back and our aura changed. So it was like a shift. So it was like automatically we turned more back into our heart center as well. And it was like, no, I appreciate my life so much more. Also, for example, we appreciated before also, but we tap into another state of consciousness. It's hard to explain. So it's like there's no question, there's no doubt anymore. I know what I have to do, and I continue with this work. I want to share my wisdom, my knowledge, my frequency with the word. When people feel attracted to my voice, so on my messages, I feel very honored. But I see myself still in this process. So we are all in this, and maybe I was wrong for so many times, and maybe I'm wrong again. And at the end, we figure out what was true and was not. So, and this is the entire process, and we are all in this. So we have to shine out our light. Yeah, it's all a lesson.
Everything is a lesson. It doesn't need to be labeled. It's like, that felt good. Well, that didn't feel good. Well, you know, I might do this one a little bit differently. Everything is a lesson. It's not, oh, damn it, why'd I do that? Or, you know, it just, you have to stop beating yourself up and just accept it like, oh, okay, well, that was interesting. That's information. How do I go on with more information?
Yeah.
You know? And I always say that takes people learning how to pivot and how to become adaptable.
Yeah.
And those are two innate skills that will get you pretty far if you can learn how to do those things, you know, because that'll keep you in your heart and on your toes. Well, are you doing sessions with people? How are you communicating with people? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm offering sessions. I offer starseed origin readings, for example, because I see the energy of people. And when I see the energy, the aura, the eyes, so then I see the planetary connections. It plops up, blap, 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 blap. I offer a light code activations as well. Then I talk in their energy. Sometimes I see their galactic family, and then I channel their informations and I give these informations to the clients. Yeah, past life readings also, that's a new service. Or future predictions is also a new service. And that's very cool to do this kind of work. I like it so much to talk to people, to work with people. And I learn all the time by my clients also. I love it so much to read their feedbacks, because then I understand my feelings and my wishes so much better. Yes, I have this perspective that I'm a teacher and a pupil. So at the same time, so even when I offer this service, so we are learning all together, we are rising all together.
Well, it's an exchange of students and we rise with that. And
Yeah.
I love when you're saying that because it's so true. I come to the realization sometimes is, I think I know something, or I think I know enough when I realize there's so much more to know. But working with clients and helping them get on their path to their authentic frequency and to how to play with the frequencies and the energy is pretty cool. So I will have your links in the description when I post this, so where people can get in touch with you. And what is the best place for people to get in touch with you?
Facebook, I'm most often there. All through my website, they can contact me official. Yeah, but I think Facebook is better now. Spending a lot of time there. Yeah, or through my website. That's also a platform. Yeah.
Okay. I know I love seeing you on Facebook. I just can't tell you. When I first saw you again recently, I was like, there she is. Okay. I gotta find her. I'll use Facebook Messenger and I'll get her on this show. Yes.
I feel very honored. Thank you so
honored.
Much.
It was like it just fell into place. And I'm like, two Sandras. Yes. And so when people go to Facebook, they'll go under Akura. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Akura YouTube. So
yeah, that's okay. No, I'll copy all the links when I post this so people can find you. And this has been fun, and we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, and of course.
We'll schedule it, and maybe next time we can, you'll show us your vocals, or maybe something will come through. We'll see. But right now, this is letting people get to know you as you,
Yeah,
and then they'll see this amazingness come out. And they're gonna be like, whoa, I got to share this with everybody. Because that's the key. We're all here doing our work.
Yeah.
Art from our God source spark of what it is. We are literally just any hurdle. We're just like, there is no hurdle. This is what I got to do.
Yeah.
And we're doing it because we want to help others and be of service to others so they can be the best that they can be. But you know what? The world can't have too many best that they could be people in it. We need more and more and more.
Yes. And we are rising on, we are remembering each other, we are helping each other. And that's so fascinating to see. So many light workers and starseeds, they find their real purpose now, and they share their gifts now, their abilities now, because that's such a big chance for us. All this, what's happening now, that we are guided to a real purpose now. Yeah. So when we fulfill our purpose, when we share our gifts with humanity, so we're creating all the new world together, and that's it. So that's the secret. And then the world starts to change, and we take Earth with us. She's ascending and we go with her, we take her with us, and that's so amazing. So we are all family.
We are. And we also realize that we're all breathing the same breath.
Yeah.
Everything is breathing the same breath. And when you can harmonize that, wow, the power in that is, woo. It's more than two Sandras in the house.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Are you connected to a goddess Isis a lot? Because I sense her very strong around you.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. She was one of the first that I connected with back in the 90s when I started doing Reiki, Sikkim, and Sikkim. And so Isis is always someone I talk with. And then I'm also working with Sekhmet right now. So I actually have my 28 knots in this, doing a little ceremonial thing.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, but thank you. Yes, I am. And that just reminds me of, I think I need to talk to her more.
Yes, yes. I like her also. She's very powerful, protective, and so feminine. Yeah.
Yes.
I like her also.
Yes. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we sign off?
We did a great job.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And I just want to, all of our viewers are just going to get the biggest kick out of this, and we're going to grow together and expand together and, take ordinary to extraordinary where there is no more ordinary. And it's just, it's just a path we just all must be on. And, don't just work on your own path. Don't worry about what someone else is doing. Their timer is set by them, and they'll figure it out when their time comes. Just keep doing what you're doing. Have courage, take a step, trust in the process, and other people will catch on.
Yes. The right people are guided to each other now. It's like we find our real soul family now. That's so amazing also.
Yes. So I'm just going to quickly say goodbye to our viewers. So thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Spiritually Simple. Thank our beautiful guest, Akura. We will see her again. Please check out her. Yes, check out her Facebook and her TikTok and make an appointment for a session, because that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, bye everybody.
Thank you.